Hey guys, me Saren back with another car video. The afro is popping today. Like I don't even I think we have officially reached afro status. I don't even think we are on teeny weeny afro status anymore. Like the afro is motherfucking popping. This is gonna be, I guess you could say, like a follow-up video to my video on how the Grammys are racist. Because a lot of you have been asking me for my opinion on Carlos Santana's comments about Beyonce. He basically said that Beyonce's not a singer, that she can't sing, and that she is like a model singer, you know, like, oh, Beyonce, like, you know, Adele stands there with the microphone and like really sings like she's a singer. You know, Beyonce puts on a good show and she dances around and she looks pretty in a dress, and you know, she can model for you, and she's got this beautiful face, but you know, she's not really a singer. I find there to be several interesting things about that. So at this point, there have been pretty much three main excuses given as to why Beyonce did not win Album of the Year. Number one, the first two reasons I kind of went over in my last video. Number one is that Beyonce makes commercial pop music. Number two is that Beyonce can't sing. And number three is that Beyonce is not a real artist. Now, those first two, which is that Beyonce makes commercial pop music and that Beyonce can't sing, both of those excuses are blown out of the water by the fact that Taylor Swift has 2 Album of the Year Grammys. Because Taylor Swift cannot sing. I don't know if y'all are really trying to insinuate that you think that Taylor Swift's paper thin voice can outsing Beyonce, but like we all know, Taylor Swift is not no great voice. She's not no great vocalist, nothing like that. Like, she cannot sing. And Taylor Swift also makes commercial pop. I said both of those things in my last Grammy video. Taylor Swift can't sing, and she makes the same type of commercial pop, feminist, you know, I am woman, hear me roar type shit as Beyonce has been known to make previously. Lemonade was not like that, but you know, she's been known to make previously. And Taylor Swift has 2 Album of the Year Grammys. So this idea that Beyonce somehow didn't win because she makes commercial pop or because she is not a singer is bullshit, right? Like, because Taylor Swift has 2 Album of the Year Grammys. So that alone blows that argument out of the water. But I also want to say that I find it to be really interesting that Carlos Santana pointed out the fact that Beyonce is beautiful and the fact that she dances and that she performs and that she puts on a show and that she's an entertainer, as if that somehow means she can't sing. Like, as if it's an either or, right? Like, you can either stand in one place with a microphone and sing, and that makes you a real singer and a real vocalist, or you can be beautiful and you can put on costumes and you can perform and you can put on a show. It's really, really interesting, this idea that those two things are mutually exclusive, because it's almost like Beyonce is being punished for being exceptional. Because Beyonce sings. Beyonce can sing. I don't know what this revisionist history is of now we're pretending Beyonce can't sing. I've decided that a lot of people have never heard a Beyonce album that's really like the only, or a Destiny's Child album that's really the only excuse that I can come up with, because I've seen people talking about some Beyonce is in the same lane as Jennifer Lopez. Like, oh, somebody that looks pretty in a dress and can dance but does not have a voice. I don't even like Beyonce, and I can't believe that you niggas have made me put on a goddamn cape for Beyonce in 2017. But what you hoes will not do is pretend that Beyonce can't sing. What you will not do, because y'all know I'm a motherfucking Destiny's Child stan, what you will not do is pretend Beyonce will not give you a 4-part harmony with LaToya and Latavia and Kelly. You will not pretend that Beyonce will not give you a 3-part harmony with Kelly and Michelle. You will not pretend that Beyonce cannot sing. Beyonce can sing her fucking face off. She has a beautiful voice. She has the range. Her voice has deepened a bit since she had Blue Ivy. Yes, most definitely. But she has a beautiful voice, and she has had a beautiful voice for the last 20 years, and she has been very, very consistent. Now, y'all know I love Rihanna, but Rihanna ain't no vocalist. Like, she's not a vocalist. Like, there's no pretending. Like, so it is just wild to me that people are trying to put Beyonce in the lane of a Rihanna, even though Rihanna has a cute voice. Like, Rihanna will when she feels like actually singing, when she feels like giving you a live performance of Stay or Diamonds in the Sky, or, you know, she will when she fucking feels like it, because Rihanna has to feel like it or else she won't give you shit. But like, Beyonce is not in that lane. Like, Beyonce can fucking sing. And the reason why I say I feel like a lot of people have not listened to Beyonce's albums, clearly they've only heard like the pop stuff that comes on the radio, you know, like the top 40 hits. Because Beyonce has also stuck to a pretty predictable formula, which I've talked about in other videos, that she is predictable ever since the Destiny's Child days. And that's to put out an album that has a couple of dance, you know, like dance, like pop dance, up-tempo songs, the Single Ladies, the Love on Top, the 7-Eleven, the Formations, you know, the Bills, 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 the Say My Names. You know, she'll put a couple of cute dance, pop, up-tempo records on the album. She'll put a couple of more urban records, the Soldier, the Upgrade You, you know, the Kitty Cats. You know, she'll put a couple of urban records. And then she'll put some ballads, like some power ballads, some slow power ballads that really showcase her vocals. And in the old school Destiny's Child days, because again, I am a DC stan, on every single Destiny's Child album they used to put at least one, but more, sometimes even more, like 2 or 3. They will put a couple of gospel records, and 9 times out of 10 they might even be a cappella, to really show you that these girls can sing, that these girls have voices. So clearly, if y'all are saying Beyonce can't sing, you have never heard a Destiny's Child album in its entirety, and you have never heard a Beyonce album, because Beyonce puts power ballads, the exact same type of ballad that an Adele would sing, on every single one of her records. Y'all clearly have not heard Flaws and All, which was written by Solange. You clearly have not heard Resentment, which was also written by Solange, which is a beautiful song. Resentment is probably one of my all-time favorite Beyonce songs. You know, and when she performs Resentment, I don't know if she's performing it right now, because again, Beyonce has really literally been in the game for like 20 years. Like, she does not perform every single one of her fucking songs when she's on tour, because she has a huge catalog. So I don't know if she switches songs in and out. This last Formation tour, she put Me, Myself, and I back on the set list, which she hadn't done in like 10 years. So it's like, when she performs Resentment, you can look it up on YouTube, or I'll include links in the description box. She stands still. She does not dance. It's a slow song. It's a ballad. Like, she stands still. Sometimes she even sits down, you know, and she has her mic and she sings the song. Beyonce could stand there and sing a fucking song if she wanted to. Like, she could stand there and sing a whole entire set of slow power ballads that showcase her voice, because she is a fucking vocalist, yes, if she wanted to. But she chooses to put on a show because she is a performer. She's an entertainer. She can also dance. She can also put on a show. That's something that she clearly enjoys doing, you know, following in the footsteps of a Tina Turner, who is obviously her idol, you know, of a Janet Jackson, even though she cannot dance like Janet Jackson. No, she can't. That's not debatable. Do not debate me. Like, but she chooses, you know, oh, I'm gonna do some up-tempo songs, I'm gonna do some ballads. She chooses not to stand there with the mic, and it's like she's being punished for that. It's like she's really being punished for being exceptional. She's being punished for wanting to do more than stand there with a microphone, and that shit is so fucking interesting to me. I read a really interesting article that said that, you know, Beyonce is really in her own lane, and all these other artists are mediocre, and it's to the point where we're so used to mediocrity that people don't even know like how to respond to basically what Beyonce does. Like, they don't know how to categorize it, how to talk about it, you know, like, what is this idea that like a real singer has to like stand in front of a microphone and sing a set? And if you're not standing still singing a set, if you're doing more than that, if you're dancing, if you're performing, if you're putting on a full fucking show, you're somehow mediocre, like you're somehow lesser. I don't understand. Like y'all are talking about her doing more, as if her doing more is a bad thing, when Beyonce really could fucking stand there and sing a whole set of fucking slow songs if she wanted to, because she is a vocalist. Like, and yet again, clearly a lot of people have not heard Beyonce's full albums, they've only heard a handful of songs, you know, the big songs, which are up-tempo pop songs that she does a lot of dances to. And it's funny too, because it's like Beyonce's bad at a lot of things. Beyonce can't act. We all know that Beyonce cannot fucking act. Like, Beyonce has said herself that she can't cook. I think Beyonce can't dress. I think she's very tacky. Like, that's just my personal opinion. Like, there's a lot of things that Beyonce can't do. Singing is not one of those things. Like, Beyonce can sing her fucking ass off. Dancing is not one of those things. Beyonce can dance. And I also think that Beyonce has worked on her dancing ability, because I used to look at Beyonce and get the feeling that she was counting steps in her head, like 1, 2, 3, kick, turn. So I think that has become more organic for her also as time goes on. But it's just really interesting to see these like judgments of like the fact that Beyonce is actually doing so much with her shows, like as if that's a weakness, you know, like as if a real singer only sings. But the fact that Beyonce also dances, also entertains, means she's not a real singer. Like, no, those things are not mutually exclusive. She's just better than the rest of you. And I swear I can't believe y'all niggas made me put on a cape for Beyonce in 2017. Like, where, like, what type of world am I living in? Like, and I also wanted to talk about this idea that the fact that Beyonce is beautiful somehow taken away from her talent. Like, oh, she's beautiful, she's a pretty face, so that somehow means she can't sing. I think that's really interesting too, because that is a critique that people have been saying about Beyonce for years, that she's too pretty, that she's too hypersexual, that she's too revealing. Bell Hooks has like this like weird campaign of hatred against Beyonce, that every time Beyonce does anything, she says that Beyonce is like doing all this stuff for the male gaze. And a lot of that goes back to this idea of, you know, second wave feminism, mainstream feminism, white feminism, this idea that being a feminist, that being a strong woman, a powerful woman, a talented woman somehow means you are not beautiful, you do not wear nice clothes, you do not get your hair done, you do not get your nails done, you know, and doing all those things somehow diminishes your talent and somehow diminishes, you know, you quote unquote being a feminist, if that's what you identify as, you know, like doing those things somehow lessens your power, because, you know, second wave feminism says that strong, talented women don't care about how they look and they're not sexy. And because Beyonce does those things, that somehow lessens her talent, which I think is just really, really interesting. Can you imagine somebody being like, oh, Whitney Houston is like so beautiful. She's like a model. She's not really like a singer. You know, she doesn't really like sing just because she's beautiful. Like, no, like people can be beautiful and they can also be talented, and they can sing and they can dance and they can wear makeup and they can have, you know, nice hair. And, you know, this was also partially why I had a problem with Alicia Keys and this whole no makeup shit. This idea that wearing no makeup makes you a real person, makes you a real woman. And, you know, there's just all these ideas about femmes and about what it means to be a femme, as if, you know, it's a bad thing, you know, again, like as if it somehow lessens your talent and lessens what you're doing, you know. Oh, Beyonce does more than just stand there and sing, so her talent is somehow lessened. That is a really, really interesting concept and a really interesting statement to make. And again, those first two arguments, that she supposedly can't sing or that she makes commercial pop music, are blown out of the water by Taylor Swift, who can't sing and who actually can't fucking sing and makes commercial pop music, and yet somehow has 2 Album of the Year Grammys. The only place where an Adele or a Taylor Swift has Beyonce is in the fact that they write songs. They write their own songs. But if that is the criteria, then motherfucking Solange should have all the Album of the Year Grammys for A Seat at the Table, because she wrote every song, she executive produced every song, she arranged the music, she fucking plays instruments, you know. When it's a black artist doing those things, rappers that write all their own songs and lyrics, not Drake, you know, they are not fucking rewarded for the fact that, you know, 9 times out of 10 to be a rapper means to write your own lyrics. So even this idea of a real singer does this, a real artist does that, a lot of even that stuff is this coded racial language that 9 times out of 10, we're talking about a certain type of music. We're talking about folk music. We're talking about pop music. We're talking about, playing all these instruments, which 9 times out of 10, what does that mean unless you're some type of musical prodigy like Stevie Wonder or Prince? 9 times out of 10, that means having the money to take lessons. And Taylor Swift's parents had all this money and they did like all this stuff for her, like a lot of this shit is just coded racial language to say that black people, and especially black women that created all these genres, that have all this talent, that do so much, that we are, we still do not fit into these very small spaces, these white mainstream spaces of genres, of what it means to be a real artist, of what it means to be a real singer, of what it means to have real actual talent. And even when you do fit into those spaces, they continuously move the goalposts. And like I've already said, the Grammys are racist, all these award shows are racist, all this shit is trash, and none of it fucking matters. And to see people keep coming up with these excuses, it's hilarious. It's like, you're a racist. Like, that's it. Like, you are a fucking racist. This award show is racist. You're racist. And if you're not racist, then you're just a fucking hater. You're a hater. You're a hater. Pretending that Beyonce can't sing makes you either racist or a hater. One of those two things. You're one of those two things. Pretending that Beyonce cannot sing her fucking face off and out-sing Taylor Swift, you're racist or a hater. Pretending that she doesn't have any album of the year Grammys when Taylor Swift has 2 for making exactly the same type of commercial pop music, you're either racist or you're a hater. Pretending that fucking these genres like folk and indie and all this shit is real music, but like R&B and hip hop and shit like that is not, even though 9 times out of 10 those people also write their own lyrics, you're racist or you're a hater. That's it. That's all. That's the end. That's what I think. That's what I'm going to continue to think, no matter what anybody else says as the story progresses. So that's all I wanted to say about that. Check links in the description box. I read some really good articles. Please read them. See you guys next time. Car video. Peace.